And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Daytona International Speedway as we get ready for the 5th annual running of the Sprint Unlimited. This is where drivers who ended up getting pole positions last season, defending Sprint Unlimited drivers, and drivers who made the chase in Season 5 are getting ready here in a non-points event to pretty much battle for purse and pride. No points on the line. These drivers can race just as hard as they want. If they wreck, they're not going to take any hits as far as the Season 6 championship. This is our start off to the season, our invitational, if you will, and we hope that you enjoy this race. It's going to be a wild one, too. It's going to be quite an exciting event. A lot of big-name drivers and no rookies in this field. Every one of these drivers, seasoned veterans that have had at least one season of experience under their belt, as Danny Wells is going to start on the pole for today's race. If you missed the drawing with myself and Dylan Poteet, which was posted earlier this morning, then you did not see that these drivers ended up getting put into this field by a randomized draw. Danny Wells got the benefit of starting on the front row alongside of Dylan Young. Jake Rogers in a one-race deal for Everham. He's going to start in third alongside of Emilio Navarrete, and rounding out the top 5 will be the defending Daytona 500 winner, James McLeod. Now, one thing that we got to point out here in this event, we have a lot of drivers who are in here for a one-race deal. Once this race is over, we will not see them again until possibly the All-Star race if they qualify for that. So that's a big thing that we have to keep in mind. Anyway, time to pretty much get these cars rolling off. They're going to complete a couple pace laps. This is going to be a 20-lap event, as you can see down on the bottom left. And another thing that we got to point out is the defending winner of this race, Sean Henley, will start off in the 17th position. Last year, Henley won both the what was then the Bud Shootout and his Gatorade Duel. Will he be able to try and repeat that here this race weekend? Time to get these cars rolling off. They'll complete a couple pace laps. While they do that, we will show you the starting lineup for today's race. I told you in the Bud Shootout practice where these drivers all had their pole positions, so I did not post them in the starting grid. So without further ado, starting lineup is coming right up. Before we turn them loose, there are a lot of Richard Childress cars in this field, and one of them starting on the pole. I think Richard Childress is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with tonight. The 29 of Adam Chambers is in this field, the 27 of Hayden Klein, the 33 of Madison Sieber. So I think you're going to see a lot of drivers for RCR up here at the front. Also Logan Wilson, a one-race deal starting back in 32nd. As here we go. We're getting ready to get underway. The first non-points race of the season is green. We're underway in the Sprint Unlimited. Danny Wells got himself a nice jump there. Even managed to get up ahead of second place Dylan Young. So very nice move there after starting on the pole for the Mountain Dew Code Red Chevrolet. You're starting to see drivers starting to work with each other here. That's one thing that Daytona always brings to the table is very unusual alliances. Some drivers bouncing off each other back there. Austin Ogo and White Sabotas, both some teammates there from Joe Gibbs Racing. Oh, there goes Matthew Rodriguez. He goes up into the wall, and I don't know who it was that turned him, but the caution's out immediately. Dollarton's going to get a little piece of him. Everybody trying to avoid. George Roque got a little piece. Logan Wilson gets involved. And I think they're wrecking further up. Oh, they are. White Sabotas, John Cittadino. James McLeod and Madison Sieber also sit idle in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Zach Campbell is involved. Richard Johnson may have gotten a piece of it as well. And the caution is out for the first time today already, or first time tonight. And the leader at the line, getting by Danny Wells at the stripe, was Jake Rogers. Wow, that did not take long at all. Somebody turned the Matthew Rodriguez machine around, and that just caused a whole melee heading into turn 3. Caution is out for the first time tonight. And with just the completion of one lap, we may already have some retirees from this race. Top 5 as we take a look at the replay are Jake Rogers, Danny Wells, Jake Cole, Austin Ogo, and the defending winner of this race, Sean Henley. Well, let's see if we can find out where this incident began. And you see there, Matthew Rodriguez is side by side with Dylan Young. And I think Dylan may have gotten a little tap in the right rear from James McLeod. It sends him down to the 48. They go back up the racetrack. McLeod had nowhere to go. He bounces off White Sabotas. Hayden Klein's going to get a piece of it right there as he turned the 81 car around. Look at Henley. Full speed ahead. Doesn't even care. He went through that like he knew exactly where he had to go. There's Pichu London. Got a big chunk of it there in the 26. There's Chris Dollarton. Was trying to slow up to avoid the 48. Could not do it. Dylan Poteet. Nice miss there by the 78. And there's George Roque and Logan Wilson getting involved with the 48 of Matthew Rodriguez. And then up ahead here, I gotta think this is going to start with White Sabotas, because I saw him starting to go off the nose of Hayden Klein in the 27 car. And a lot of times when you get turned heading into the entrance of a corner, that driver has not yet recovered and turned that car back around, he's going to come right back up the racetrack, and that's exactly what happens. Right up into James McLeod. There's Madison Sieber, nowhere to go. Look at Michael Norman up there on the high side, trying to slow up. Somebody else back there got some damage. Oh, that was Joshua Michaels in the 10. And then here comes Hayden Klein, or not Hayden Klein, Zach Campbell rather, in the 97. He's going to hit James McLeod. He's also going to hit White Sabotas. There's Cittadino, the defending Snickers Cup Series champion, running straight into Madison Sieber. He's got pretty extensive damage there to his Chevrolet. And I would say at the most there was about a 10-car pileup. 10 drivers at least sustaining damage from this. I don't know if Richard Johnson got involved. I think he got down to the inside line quickly enough. George Roque going to go way down underneath in the grass to avoid him. But I'd say at the most there were about 10 drivers that were involved in this. Quite a few big names too, including James McLeod, John Cittadino, Matthew Rodriguez, Dylan Young. Lots of drivers who could have won this thing, could have really been contenders, all involved here on the very first lap of this race. We've been given the signal of 1 lap to go before we will go back to green flag racing. It'll be on lap 6 of 20, give us a total of 15 to go here tonight at Daytona. The leader right now is Jake Rogers in the 91. Danny Wells lines up second, Jake Cole third, Austin Ogo fourth, and Sean Henley fifth. Then it's Emilio Navarrete in sixth. Seventh is Adam Chambers. Anthony McCurry runs in 8th. 9th place is Kyle Sosnowski, and completing the top 10 is Hayden Klein. Mary Cole's in 11th. 12th place, Chris Dollarton. 13th is Cole Daly, 14th Dylan Poteet, Michael Norman in 15th, 16th is Alex DeMarco. Then you got Roy Vidarvo in 17th, Barney Ward 18th, Aaron Williams Jr. 19th, Red Bell 20th, 21st will be Charles Jackson, 22nd is Logan Wilson. Joshua Michaels runs 23rd, 24th is Pichu London, 25th Dylan Young, then it's George Roque in 26th, and Matthew Rodriguez will continue in 27th place. 33 drivers, the biggest Sprint Unlimited field we've had to date, took the green flag. 6 of those drivers have now gone behind the wall, and they include Whitus Avotas, James McLeod, Madison Sieber, Zach Campbell, Richard Johnson, and John Cittadino. A tough break, especially for Whitus Avotas and Zach Campbell, making one race appearances. They certainly wanted to finish a lot better than that. I would believe the rest of those 4 other drivers, they're going to get an opportunity to be in the Daytona 500 as well as the rest of the races this season. So this is not exactly something that's going to hurt them as far as DNFing from a non-points event. They would have loved to have won this race, I'm certain, but better to wreck here than in the 500 when points are on the line. As the Dodge Charger pace car is going to make the left-hand turn onto pit road. We'll get ready to go back under the green flag. Let's see if they can keep it green for a little bit here as we have a single file restart. Jake Rogers is going to get us back underway. The green flag is back out once more. Cars head into turn number 1. Jake Rogers, Danny Wells working a little 2-car draft there. Then behind them, Jake Cole and Austin Ogo doing the same thing. Never thought I'd see 2-car tandeming here at Daytona, but apparently it's working. But I don't know how much longer that's going to last. Whoa, Jake Cole got a good run coming down the corner, and he's going to go 3 wide there with Danny Wells, who had thoughts for the lead himself. But Jake Cole had Austin Ogo glued to his back bumper, got that huge run down the back straightaway, and Jake Cole is now going to be the leader. Remember Jake Cole, you think back to NNSCRA history, Jake Cole, as I recall, had 3 victories, and that was back, I believe it was in Season 2. No, it wasn't. It was Season 3 when he drove the 43 Ford for Richard Petty Motorsports. And he is looking to come in here back in the 39, a ride that we've seen him in before, trying to come in with momentum here. As I recall, one of those 3 wins he had in Season 3 was actually at Daytona. It wasn't in the Sprint Unlimited, though. Here comes Kyle Sosnowski down to the bottom. Sosnowski driving for the newly formed Penske Germain Racing, which is now a 5-car team. The only other driver from that 5-car team, though, that is in this field is Dylan Young. As here comes Anthony McCurry down to the inside line, another driver for a new team this season, Kyotech Racing. Anthony McCurry, the only representative for that team, though, his other 2 teammates, Ralph Mason and Noah Hart, are not in this field, but we'll see them in the 500. As here comes Dylan Poteet finally up to the front. It's taken him a while to get there, but here he is in that 78. He's brought Jake Rogers with him and Michael Norman. And Jake Rogers is going to look down to the bottom for the lead. Dylan Poteet moving into the middle groove. He'll pick up the draft of his Tweenix Racing teammate Sean Henley. As here comes Michael Norman for Michael Norman Motorsports, that single-car race team looking pretty doggone racy tonight, and Rohit Vidarvo is going to make it a move down to the inside line looking for the top spot. Vidarvo was a 2-time winner last season, driving for Richard Childress Racing, and he'd love to get a win here in his only start in the Snickers Cup Series, at least his only start that we know of. We also know that Rohit Vidarvo is going to be in the All-Star race if he gets a single-car one-race deal because of the fact he was a 2-time winner last season. And here comes Barney Ward back in the 43. As a matter of fact, think back to Barney Ward in the 43 and Daytona. Makes you think back to the Season 4 Daytona 500 when Barney Ward basically screwed his own brother, Ben Ward, out of winning that event. Barney Ward was a lap car at that point, and he wrecked his brother while he was in the lead. Red Bell there in the 93 for BK Racing. Took a little turn at the front. Oh, Dylan Poteet! Oh, Pochi got spun. He got spun by Jake Cole. I saw him go down. It looked like he saved it. But he just got spun down the back straightaway by Jake Cole, and the caution is out again. Oh, look out. Wow. How did everybody avoid the 78? I don't know. The caution is waving for the second time tonight. Danny Wells Cole Dally, the Battle of Mountain Dew and Mountain Dew Code Red will go to the 31. The pole sitter will lead us once again under the caution flag, and this time it's going to be with a total of 9 laps to go. Uh-oh, I think I hear wrecking back there. Are they wrecking under caution? They are! McCrory, Navarrete, Charles Jackson, and I think some others just got a piece of it. Maybe not. Maybe they got through it. But McCrory just got turned under caution. Slow down. Oh, Dylan Young, Joshua Michaels, and Logan Wilson just jacked each other up. When are these guys ever going to learn to slow down under the caution laps? Anthony McCurry crossed the line in the 10th position last time around. Let's see if he's going to take his rightful position or if he's going to head straight for pit road. I think he's going to pit road. That's a tough break there from McCurry. Well, maybe not. He's staying on the apron in his 10th position now, which is a sure indication he's headed for pit road, but nonetheless, he is still running in his spot there. I don't know what the deal is there, but anyway, we're going to take a look at the solo car spin by Dylan Poteet, and then take a look at these incidents that happened under the caution flag, too, involving the likes of Charles Jackson, Anthony McCurry, and others. Well, here's a look at it, and a word you're going to be hearing us say all race weekend long: left rear quarter panels. And it's Anthony McCurry who's going to make contact there with the 78, turns him down, and I thought they had it saved right there. I thought they had straightened it out. But then Jake Cole's going to make more contact with that left rear of Dylan Poteet. And, Jake Cole, he wasn't going to let up. And Dylan Poteet was sideways. There was nothing he could do, and finally that 78 is just going to snap around on him. Jake Cole able to slow down enough to be able to get to the left side of the spinning 78 and get by him. And Poteet is pretty doggone lucky that he was at the rear of this big pack, so that way everybody was able to either avoid him or be notified that he was up ahead, so that way they could get by him, because he could have really been taken out of this thing. And who knows, that solo car spin, he still may be able to recover. We're only halfway through this race, so big opportunity there for Dylan Poteet. As we're going to take a look now at the incident that happened with Anthony McCurry after the caution flag had waved over in turn number 1. Okay, let's see if we can find out what happened here. This was after the caution flag had waved. These drivers were all slowing down to find their positions on the racetrack so they could then run single file under caution. But someone's going to make a move here that's not going to be good. You see Charles Jackson is going to move up to the extreme high side there. We know the 99 of Emilio Navarrete was involved too. Did Navarrete actually come down and into McCurry? Yes, he did. And McCurry gave him plenty of room to be able to run the middle. So did Charles Jackson. So I don't know what Navarrete was doing. And he just comes down, clips the 61 straight up the racetrack, and Charles Jackson's just a sandwich between the 99 and the outside retaining wall. DeMarco gets a little piece of it. Spins down right in front of Hayden Klein, who gets a piece of it. And, Jake Cole, close miss there. Nearly went up into Michael Norman, but that's a tough break from McCurry. I don't know if Emilio Navarrete had an ill-handling race car right there, and it just got loose on him, and he came down to the 61 or what, but Charles Jackson, Anthony McCurry definitely gave him as much room as was possible here at Daytona to be able to maneuver his way through the middle groove. And watch right there, Dylan Young, Joshua Michaels, Logan Wilson, all full speed, and Jake Cole, who was slowing down, so all this chaos would be able to be settled out. He just gets rammed from behind by the Blue Dews. Joshua Michaels got heavy damage on his Dodge, and Logan Wilson, a former Bud Shootout winner, also gets a piece of that. So a few more drivers getting damaged than really needed to. That's a tough break for the outside pole sitter Dylan Young, who started in the second position. Let's go back to green now. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It'll be on lap 15 of 20, which should give us a total of 6 laps to go when the green comes out. Danny Wells, the pole sitter, has found his way back to the front. Second place is going to be Cole Daly now. His teammate, Aaron Williams Jr., lines up in third. Remember, Aaron Williams Jr. was the fastest driver in Sprint Unlimited practice. And now he's finally found his way into the top 5. Mary Cole is in fourth. And Charles Jackson, still able to continue on after getting squeezed up into the wall. He will restart in 5th place. Red Bell is currently in 6th. Remember, she's a former Sprint Unlimited winner, looking for her 2nd of her career. They get Adam Chambers in 7th. Navarrete will restart 8th. 9th will be Alex DeMarco. And Sean Henley, the defending winner of this race, will restart in 10th. Barney Ward is in 11th. Austin Ogo is in 12th. There's Jake Rogers, Rohit Vidarvu, and Chris Dollerton. That's the top 15. Michael Norman, Kyle Sosnowski, Jake Cole, Dylan Young, and Logan Wilson are the top 20. Then Dylan Poteet, after his spin out, he will restart 21st. George Roque, 22nd. 23rd is Pichu London. 24th, Matthew Rodriguez. And 25th will be Anthony McCrory. Only one driver went behind the wall, I believe, and I believe that was Joshua Michaels. Nope, Hayden Klein also joined him back there. They'll retire in 26th and 27th. So out of the 33 drivers, 25 on the racetrack, all 25 still on the lead lap. We're getting ready for what's going to be an exciting 6-lap shootout. We've worked 2 caution flags, which, as we mentioned, has claimed 8 drivers back into the garage area. And out of these drivers here, a total of 4 of them are former Sprint Unlimited winners. Those being Red Bell, Matthew Rodriguez, Logan Wilson, and Sean Henley. So the odds still of a 2-time Sprint Unlimited winner are pretty doggone good as the green flag gets ready to come back out. And Danny Wells got himself a good jump. Cole Daly was caught napping a little bit there, but maybe he's just hanging back waiting for his teammate to help him out there, Aaron Williams Jr. in the 24. Red Bell now going to look to the inside of Charles Jackson. That's back for the 5th position. I don't know how long you'd want to wait before you make a move for the win here. Maybe not even till the final lap, because these drivers are able to swap that lead position around so quickly. We saw them going 3 wide for it quite a bit early on. And here comes Cole Daly. He'll go to the inside line. I thought Aaron Williams Jr.'s teammate would have gone with him, but instead it's going to be Mary Cole going down to the bottom to help draft the 88. And here comes Red Bell and Adam Chambers in the 29, who basically lost out on both Mobile and Snickers Cup Series championships last season, reuniting with Richard Childress Racing, the team in which he had his only Snickers Cup Series championship when he drove the 27 for them back in Season 2. Cole Daly leads that lap, and this field is kind of broken into 2 groups now. Got 6 cars up here in front, then about 3 cars by themselves, and then the rest of the field in a bigger pack there. I guess you could call it a 3rd pack if you're counting that little group of 3. Still time, though, for these drivers to catch up here. There you see the group of 3 back there. I think that was Alex DeMarco, Rohit Vidarvu, and Austin Ogo, all one-race deal drivers, as Red Bell is now the leader. Another one-race deal driver, Adam Chambers, lined up there in 2nd. Aaron Williams Jr. 3rd, and here comes Chambers. Where's his drafting help going to come from? It's going to come in the form of his teammate, Danny Wells. So the RCR boy is going to work together here at the front with a total of 4 laps to go. A few other drivers up the inside line there. Michael Norman's trying to catch back up there. Barney Ward's back there. Kyle Sosnowski. All with opportunities to get back up here into this lead pack and have a shot for the victory. As Richard Childress Racing runs 1-2, but for how long? Here comes Austin Ogo to the inside line. Drafting help from Mary Cole and from Rohit Vidarvu. Oh man, Red Bell getting awful close to the back of Danny Wells' rear quarter panel. Nice job backing off there. That was close. Austin Ogo now going to peek out of line. He's going to go to the inside line. Toyotas line up on the inside line. One from Joe Gibbs Racing, the other from a single-car race team. I guess we could call it an MB2 Motorsports team. I don't know. I guess that'd be the most likely team. I really didn't come up with a team name for the 32. As here comes Michael Norman to the inside. Michael Norman in that single-car race team. Big run to the inside. How would it be for that team to really get themselves off the ground with a win in the Sprint Unlimited? That would really help them to be seen as a dominant force in the garage areas. Kyle Sosnowski's now going to go for the lead. Oh no, there goes the 32 for Rohit Arbu. Danny Wells, the pole sitter, was involved. Cole Daly was involved. Caution's out. This is it. The race to the line. Barney Ward comes to the inside line. Sosnowski's going to block him. Kyle Sosnowski, with a caution coming out with 2 to go, is going to win the Sprint Unlimited under the yellow flag. And who would have thought that was going to happen? I thought they were going to keep it clean and green to the end. Looked like they were putting on a great show, and somehow one wrong move just cost a lot of drivers a good run. There is Rohit Arbu. Someone's smoking ahead. Danny Wells is on pit road. Jake Rogers actually must have spun on the front straightaway. Adam Chambers was involved. George Roque. Matthew Rodriguez may have gotten a piece. And are they going to slow down? Yes, they are. Yikes. Must have been some others involved. Oh, Anthony McCurry sits idle on the front straightaway. What happened to him? Did he hit Jake Rogers or something? I don't know. There's the pole sitter, Danny Wells. He was up front twice tonight. Really had a good car. Was working with his teammate Adam Chambers. There's McCurry. And Kyle Sosnowski may put Penske Germain Racing on the board with a victory this season. Not in points, but still a victory. As he's out in front, they're coming around to receive the white flag. While they complete this white flag lap, we're going to take a look back at a replay of our final caution of the evening. Well, this is basically what happened here. They tried going 4 wide. I mean, this is an ultimate risk-reward move, and Chambers, I think he then thought better of it, wanted to get back up in line behind the 32, but he was already underneath. Clips that left rear quarter panel again, and down they come into Danny Wells and Cole Daly. Sends him back up the racetrack. Nowhere for any of these guys to go. Chambers, nowhere for him to go. He's going to go straight down the racetrack. I think he's going to get DeMarco and Jake Rogers. Mary Cole trying to slow down, trying to avoid. There's the 91 up and into the wall. Jake Rogers, who actually led us under one of our caution flags. Mary Cole got through that relatively well. There's the Tweenix Racing teammates, Dylan Poteet and Sean Henley. Are they going to get through? Yes, they are. There were some other drivers involved, though. There's George Roque in the 01. Let's see who he hits, because I know he had some pretty extensive damage. He makes contact with somebody. Is it going to be Jake Rogers, maybe, in the 91? Oh man, he tried to go 4 wide with the 2 slower cars of Veydarvu and Rogers and just couldn't find the room. Dylan Young in the Blue Deuce runs into Jake Rogers right there. And then Rogers going to slide up the racetrack, and he's going to get Pichu London in the 26. Jake Rogers is a regular pinball. And then McCurry, what happens to him? Is he going to hit Rogers too? Let's see. Rogers may have spun back up the racetrack or something. As McCurry comes past the start-finish line. Yep. Wow. Boy, McCurry didn't even keep himself up on the high side there to try and squeeze between the wall and Jake Rogers. Just ran right in the back of the 91. And I don't think that would have anything to do with what happened to McCurry under the caution flag last time, because Jake Rogers was nowhere even involved in that incident. So I don't know what McCurry's whole plan was there, but gave quite a shot to Jake Rogers, but it ended up ending the night of Anthony McCurry. So that was interesting. A little bit of tempers flaring there. It'd be nice to get an explanation from Anthony McCurry on just what he was doing there. Nonetheless, the caution waves. White flag has been displayed. We're getting ready for the checkers. Let's go back and watch Kyle Sosnowski win his first ever Sprint Unlimited. Well, Kyle Sosnowski definitely must love coming to Daytona. Last season, he ended up winning a Gatorade Duel, which had him start on the pole for the Great American Race in Season 5. This season, he comes to Daytona and kind of picks up where he left off, as he's going to be the winner here tonight in the Sprint Unlimited. The 5th annual Sprint Unlimited will belong to Penske Germain Racing. Kyle Sosnowski crosses the stripe and he wins here tonight at Daytona. Right place, right time for the 22 And I'm telling you, I really think that Penske Germain Racing is going to be a Ford team to reckon with this season. Lots of good drivers, including Sosnowski, Dylan Young, Felix Graves, Tryfon Reed as well, and also Jeffrey Buckeye, who's got quite a bit of experience over with that team. So Kyle Sosnowski, we'll have to see if maybe he can bring that same kind of speed into the Daytona 500 qualifying and maybe sit on the Daytona 500 pole for the second year in a row, as we will show you your official top 10, as we always did in Season 5. We're going to do the same in Season 6. Barney Ward, great run for him in second. Michael Norman, this is quite a proving ground race for that team, and they came away with a great third-place finish. Austin Ogo, Chris Dolleton, and Red Bell, 4th, 5th, and 6th for those Run Race Deal drivers. Great runs for them. Jake Cole going to get 7th, 8th. Aaron Williams Jr., the fastest in Sprint Unlimited practice, so he comes away with a nice, solid top 10 finish. Dylan Poteet, after that single-car spinout he had there out of Turn 2 and on the back straightaway, he'll recover for 5th, or not for 5th, I'm sorry, for 9th. That was a big fail. And Sean Henley, the defending winner of this race, well, we can't say that anymore, but nonetheless, the Season 5 winner of this race, I guess we could say, he will finish the day in the 10th position. So congratulations to Kyle Sosnowski on winning the Sprint Unlimited here tonight at Daytona. Next on our calendar, folks, we got Daytona 500 qualifying live from Daytona. It'll be a practice session in which the top speeds will start on the pole position and the outside of the front row. Then we go to the Gatorade Duels from Daytona, where the rest of the field for the 500 will be set. Then we have our Trucks, Mobile, and our Daytona 500 race take place here from Daytona to start off Season 6. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Congratulations once again to Kyle Sosnowski on his victory, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.